Hello, and welcome to another episode of 5 Minutes with Freed. I'm your host, Michael Freed. I'm a litigation partner in the matrimonial and family law firm of Berkman, Botker, Newman, and Shine, with offices in New York City, Westchester, and Long Island. And today, my special guest is Arthur Conte of Heil Conte Law PLLC. So, Arthur, welcome to 5 Minutes with Freed.
Thanks, Michael. Thank you for having me.
Sure. So tell us, what is Heil Conte Law PLLC and what's your role in the firm?
So we are a estate planning and elder law firm here on Long Island, and we specialize in all aspects of estate planning, doing basic wills, trusts, all the way up to complex trust planning for estate tax purposes. We also do Medicaid planning, Medicaid application work for those individuals who are in need of community Medicaid, chronic care Medicaid for nursing homes and for home health aid coverage. We also do probates and administrations, a little bit of guardianship work, and a whole host of other ancillary areas of law that go along with it. I am a partner here with Paul Hill. He is my partner, and we started this firm about a year and a half ago, and it's just us and our staff, and we do all those areas of law that I discussed.
Great. So, Arthur, you know that I'm a matrimonial and family law attorney. When would my clients most often require your services?
That's always a good question. I actually get this a lot from other attorneys. In your case, and in a matrimonial and family law sense, there's probably two times where it's really important to discuss with your clients about altering their estate planning or even just discussing it and looking at it. The first is probably when, and this you may not deal with, but with prenup or postnup engagements, we like to at least either do those or refer them to another attorney to look at those agreements for clients to make sure that they are in line with their estate plans that they want to make now or that they've made in the past, so that everything works together. But more importantly, when clients are divorced or when the home situation changes for adults with children, when there's a separation even and there's contention, you want to make sure that you have your clients update their estate planning documents to reflect the fact that they may no longer want a spouse as their executor or their trustee on a trust or their power of attorney agent or healthcare proxy. You may want to change the inheritance scheme of how your assets are left to other individuals after you pass away. So probably those two times are the most often in your field where your clients would benefit from a conversation with somebody like me.
Makes total sense. So, Arthur, what's the best way for a prospective client or other professional like myself to contact you?
I mean, you could always call my office. You could always send me an email. Do you want me to give my phone number? You want me to give the
That'd
email?
be fine. Yeah.
Sure. So the phone number here at my office is 631-623-2300. You could always email me at Arthur, ARTHUR, at HYLCONTE law.com. We're very responsive here. I have more than one person looking at my email inbox so that, we're always making sure we stay on top of the communications that come in and out of our office. And again, like I said, we don't charge for consultations. I give the first 90 minutes for free, whether on Zoom, whether in person, whether on a telephone conversation, whatever is most comfortable for the prospective client.
Perfect. So now, Arthur Conte, we have now come to the most important part of our show.
Oh, yes.
And that happens to be the question of the week. So, Arthur Conte, this is your question of the week.
Oh, boy.
If you could choose one person from history to be your imaginary friend, who would you pick and why?
That is a great question. I would go to a founding father of the United States. So I'd probably choose like either George Washington or Thomas Jefferson, probably George Washington. But any of the founding fathers, honestly, would be a good one. And I'd want to have a conversation with them about what they were thinking when they were revolting against the crown and what they thought of, what was in their mind when they actually did the Constitution, wrote the Declaration of Independence, wrote the Constitution, and what they think about America today. I always am so curious about what they would say about where we are today. And to a certain extent, I've always thought our country has grown and changed in ways that they never would have imagined in technology and advancements. And I'm sure they wouldn't recognize it, but I just want to know what their feelings were. I'm always so curious about that. And with anything, what would Roman emperors and kings would think of their countries and their what happens 100,000 years in the future. It's always interesting to think about that.
Well, I got to tell you, Arthur Conte, that was an incredible answer, and you have said it all. You are helping people with their estate planning needs one day at a time, and I
That's
want to
right.
thank you for being a wonderful guest on 5 Minutes with Freed.
Thank you for having me, Michael.